Good morning, students. Today we are going to start our new chapter, chapter number 15, Framing the Constitution. The Constitution of India is the longest constitution in the world. It was framed between December 1946 to 1949, but it came into effect from 26 January 1950. A constitution is designed to keep the country together and to take it forward. A constitution is an elaborated and carefully worked out document. Making of the Constituent Assembly. Members of the Constituent Assembly were indirectly elected. Members were elected by provincial legislatures. Constituent Assembly was dominated by Congress. The Muslim League boycotted the Assembly as it wants separate constitution and separate country. Though members were mostly from the Congress, but views and opinions of its members were diverse. In Constituent Assembly, there was intense debate between the members regarding different ideas and proposals. Intense discussion within the Constituent Assembly was also influenced by opinion of the public. Public was also asked to send their opinions and ideas. Linguistic minorities asked for protection of their mother tongue. Religious minorities demanded for special safeguards, while Dalit asked for abolition of caste system and reservation in the education and government jobs. The dominant voice of the Constituent Assembly. Out of all 300 members of the Constituent Assembly, few members like Pandit Nehru, Vallabhbhai Patel, Rajendra Prasad, B.R. Ambedkar, I.C.M. Munshi and Krishnaswamy Iyer had a remarkable contribution. Pandit Nehru, Vallabhbhai Patel and Rajendra Prasad were representative of the National Congress. Pandit Nehru moved crucial objective resolution as well as proposal of national flag, while Vallabhbhai Patel played an important role in negotiating with princely states, merging these princely states with India. He drafted several reports and worked for reconciling the opposing point of views. Rajendra Prasad, as the President of Assembly, steered the discussion along the constructive lines and made sure that all members had a chance to speak. Dr. Ambedkar joined the cabinet on advice of Gandhiji and worked as a law minister. He was the chairman of drafting committee of Constitution. K.M. Munshi and Krishnaswamy Iyer were another two lawyers who played important role in drafting the constitution. There were two civil servants who gave vital assistance to these leaders. One among them was B.N. Rao, who worked as a constitutional advisor to Government of India, and another was S.N. Mukherjee, who put up complex proposal in clear legal languages. The objective of Indian Constitution. On 13 December 1946, Jawaharlal Nehru introduced Objective Resolution. It proclaimed India to be an independent, sovereign and republic, guaranteed its citizens justice, equality, freedom and assured adequate safeguard to the minorities, backward and tribal areas, depressed and backward classes. Objective resolution outlined the ideal of the constitution and provide framework for constitution making. Nehru referred to America and French constitution, an event associated with its making. He said that we are not just going to copy them. Instead, he said it is important to learn from these so mistakes can be avoided. Nehru said the system of government to be established in India had to fit in with the temper of our people and should be acceptable to them. The objective of the Indian Constitution would be to fuse the liberal idea of democracy and socialist idea of economic justice and readapt and rework on all these ideas within the Indian context. The aspiration of the people. Somnath Lahiri, a communist member, said, "We Indians need to be free from British influence." He further said, Constituent Assembly was British made and was working with British plan. Nehru said in his response, "That is true, British government played important role in assembly's birth and attached condition to the function of the assembly. But he also said he have met because of strength of people behind us, and we shall go as far as people wish to go along with us. He believed that members of assembly were elected by provincial legislature, and provincial legislature is elected by Indian people. So here we represent a countryman. The Constituent Assembly was expected to express the aspiration of the people. Democracy, equality, justice were ideals that people of India aspire for. Now the right of people. The way of defining the rights of people was quite different. Different demands were made by different group of people. These demands, ideas, opinions were debated, discussed, and conflicting ideas were reconciled, and then conscience was made to take collective decisions. The problem with the separate electorate. Intense debate took place in assembly on the issue of separate electorate. B. Poker Bahadur gave powerful presentation for continuation for separate electorate. He said, electorate will help in giving minorities representation in the political system and in governance of country. The need of Muslim could not be understood by the non-Muslim communities. Many nationalist leaders saw separate electorate system as a tool to divide people on the basis of religion, and they also believed that this idea was finally culminated in partition of the country. Therefore, many leaders were against of it. Sardar Patel strongly declared that separate electorate was a poison that has entered in the body of the politics of our country and turned one community against other, caused bloodshed, riots, and partition. So for a peace, we need to remove separate electorate. G.B. Pant in a debate said, separate electorate is not only harmful for nation but also for minorities. He said that majority community had an obligation to try and understand the problem of minorities and emphasize with their aspiration. Demand of separate electorate would permanently isolate the minorities and will make them vulnerable, and in addition it will deprive them of any effective say within the government. All these arguments against separate electorate was based on the unity of the nation, where every individual of citizen of the state having same rights. The constitution will grant citizenship and rights, and in return citizens had to offer their loyalty to the state. Communities could be recognized as a culture entities, and politically members of all communities are equal to the member of the state. By 1949, most of the Muslim members of the Constituent Assembly were agreed against the separate electorate and remove it. Muslims need to take an active part in the democratic process to ensure that they had a decisive voice in the political system. So that's all for today, students. We will continue this chapter in our next lecture. Please read your chapters very carefully and try to find out 1 mark question. Thank you. Have a nice day.